Hey guys, this is Locke. This is my review of Starlight Elena, where I'm doing a more in-depth review particularly pertaining to Arena. In short, I'm actually really happy with her performance. I think she's doing really, really well for the team that I built for her and the opponents that I'm attacking. Um, so I've had a 15 streak. I'm in the top 100 now. It is only the first day, so I'm sure it'll go down. But I've attacked all kinds of enemies. I've attacked like full dark teams, lightning teams, ice teams, like everything. And this is the team I'm using. So first, I'm going to go into my team and talk about why I'm using it and the strategy and thought behind it. So the units I'm using is Starlight Elena, King Mont, and Yuna. I actually can replace Yuna with Aerith as well. I think it would work, but I've already managed to, uh, set everything up like this, and it's working really fine. So if I put Aerith in now, I have to actually figure out her AI and make it work. And this is working like really great for now. So I don't actually feel like I need to change anything right now, but that is an option. If you don't have Yuna and you have Aerith, maybe that could also work for you. In fact, it might even work better because I mean, this particular vision card is good for a water unit like Aerith, and same with the Esper I'm using. So anyway, I'm going to start with the passives and sub-jobs for each of the units. So for Starlight Elena, I'm using Ruin Knight as the sub-job, and these are the two passives that I have. The idea here is that she will always do damage because one of these passives penetrates Spirit, and the other passive penetrates Magic Resistance. So that is the idea here. Sorry, not magic resistance, slash resistance, because she does slash damage. I forgot there. But yeah, it basically it means she will always do damage. For King Mont, I have these two passives. I was actually thinking of using Destiny of Leonis, but I actually need him to not start with hate, and I'll get to that in a minute. But this ninja passive is very important that he gets ahead of the units, and it's less likely that everyone else will be caught in AoE. So that's the reason why I have that as a passive. For Yuna, I have Kotodama Wielder, but she actually doesn't really use any of these skills in any of the battles so far. I turned off Nimble Movement, so that way the first turn she casts Re-Raise, and then the second turn she moves up. If she has to cast Nimble Movement, she will stand in a place to cast it. So she will actually fall behind, and so I don't want that. So I mean, the sub job really doesn't matter. The two passives there kind of make sense already, so I don't really have to talk about that. So the idea behind this is that my team is actually built to be AoE resistant. So for Starlight Elena, the first skill that she will use is actually going to be Stella Maris, which increases the attack and magic of everyone within range and also increases AoE resistance for herself. King Mont has a similar setup for himself with the gear because this item here, Brigade, gives him 10 AoE resistance. He has a mastery that gives him 15 AoE resistance, and then the team also has this vision card there, which increases AoE resistance for the party by 20. So this does a couple of things, especially when I'm fighting, say, for example, dark teams. Like if you see the battles that I've done, I will show you at the end of this video the last 5 battles that I did where I'm fighting like top 200 arena opponents. Sometimes they do AoE attacks, but they hit for very little damage. Like they can't one-shot anybody, including Starlight Elena with like a Tenebral Rose or something. And in other fights, I have Yuna cast Re-Raise on Starlight Elena, and when Duane is fighting her, he chooses to use like Rising Twilight or something because that's the attack that will do more damage. So this means two things. First of all, what is it called? Barrier is not broken, and secondly, her Re-Raise is not removed because those single target attacks don't have those things associated with it. I believe. Actually, I have to go and double check. But basically, you limit the attacks that Duane does, right? And if Black Rosalina, Duane, if they use AoE attacks, they're going to do a little damage, and they will most likely actually use single target attacks to kill King Mont, which means my team actually survives, right? Because even if they happen to bunch up, because it's been a few turns, and especially Starlight Elena's agility is very high, so she might actually take a double turn and get in range for AoEs, but she will not die easily because of the AoE resistance that my team is built on. So vision cards. I don't have this card maxed out just yet, her own card, which is this one, but it will be maxed out tomorrow. I'm waiting on the last 10 shards for that I will pick up from the guild banners tomorrow. But even if I did have this maxed out, I will not use this card in this team. But it is not a bad card. It's just not what I'm going for right now. like this team is built on, I've already told you two ideas. The first idea is AoE survivability. Second idea is that Starlight Elena is going to be my like DPS. So all the cards that I have is to increase her damage. Like this card is going to increase her damage by giving 50% magic. And then it's also going to give a little bit more HP, but that's not really important. But 50% magic is great. And then it's going to give 20% single target resist as well. Added bonus. This card is going to give her 35% slash attack. So it's going to do like, that's those two cards, the plus 50 magic and plus 35 light slash attack is what's going to increase her damage like ridiculous levels. She one hits like everything. Even like a Black Rose Helena with her TMR on for the shield, she will just one shot her because she just has ridiculous damage output. And she also has like 4-hit skills, right? So, 3 hits will do damage, the 4th hit would kill. Sometimes, if the opponent has a banner, like a barrier of some kind for that. The vision, sorry, not the vision, the what's it called? TMR that I'm using is Black Rose Helena's TMR. It does a couple of things that I really like. The first thing is that obviously it gives you a barrier. So, I mean, that's great. Second thing is that increases her agility by 25% as well. She starts with a ridiculous amount of agility. Like she has 114 agility to start. You will see actually in the fights, there are a lot of times she actually takes double turns like mid-fight without a haste or a quicken or something. She just has so much agility that she's able to pull that off. Obviously, the agility card, the Scion of House Belove, this obviously helps with that agility as well. But yeah, like this team has performed really great. So now some fine-tuning things that I've done. So I've made sure that King Mont has a little less agility than Yuna, because if King Mont goes before Yuna, he will cast Proclamation, and now Yuna will use her re-raise on King Mont. And King Mont is going to be the one taking damage, so Duane might actually go and use his re-raise removal skill on King Mont, and that might just be a wasted buff. So instead, I've cast it on Starlight Elena, and there's also like a lot of times where Starlight Elena just kills Duane before Mont goes down. So this increases her survivability and makes sure that she gets that, like she makes full use of that re-raise. Whereas if it casts on King Mont, he might not make so much use of it. He's a great tank, like especially in this team. He takes damage like, nothing. He is able to make sure my team survives. Like he goes down, he does die sometimes, but that's okay because by the time the team has pretty much already won. Most of the time. Also, this is an added benefit of King Mont as well, because the skill that he uses most often is Claws of the Young Lion, which reduces slash resistance by 38%. And I believe it's usually because of this skill, then Starlight Elena goes, and that's most likely the reason. Well, even without it, I'm sure she will be able to one-shot, but that's most likely the reason she does, like, ridiculous amounts of damage. Like, she does, like, like, max damage. I don't have her, what's it called, her damage limit up node maxed yet, so I've seen her hit for like 10,000 0.99 damage because that's the limit that I have her at. But I've seen her do that like multiple times already, and it's probably because of the setup, right? That's this team just works really well so far. Yuna is there, like, she's obviously there to heal. Everyone is kind of within the same agility. Both of these two, Starlight Elena and King Mont gets an agility booster themselves because their buff that they use give plus 25 agility. Yuna actually gets a different agility booster because the first turn she stands still and casts re-raise. She saves 20 CT. The second turn she moves up. She doesn't cast a skill because I turned off all the other passive skills. Sorry, not passive. Yeah, like TP skills. So she doesn't use the skill the second turn. So therefore she saves 20 CT. So all three of them actually get their own type of agility CT booster in this team. And they're usually able to keep pace with each other once the battle starts and everybody starts, using all their CT because they're all buffing or attacking or curing and moving. That is where she starts to do like double turns because she just has like insane amount of agility. Anyway, all in all, I really like the team. They work really well. Now I mentioned that her vision card, I really like the vision card. I'm just not using it right now. So when would I use it? Like if I'm fighting another team, like another evasion team, like this one, for example, then that is, I think, the perfect opportunity to use that. I am using her, what's it called? Like the marshmallow miniature to give her plus 35 accuracy. So she's able to deal with like a lone Tifa that's the only evasion unit on an enemy team or something. Like she can probably deal with that. But if I'm fighting a full evade team, like this one which has plus 20 evade and then plus 35 luck, she's probably not going to be able to land hits. That's what I'm assuming. I've like completely skipped over evasion enemies, but if I was fighting an evasion enemy, I would probably use her vision card to give herself plus 35 luck, which is, in my opinion, about like 30, maybe 35 accuracy flat, and obviously it increases her evade as well. But that is the time that I would use that. So far I've just been avoiding light enemies. I've actually just been avoiding light enemies itself because I don't want to say, hey, light units counter other light units. I've actually been looking for a team that would just counter dark. So that's what I was aiming for. But I also fought like other teams as well. I think there was a couple of lightning teams that I fought. And there was one ice team that I fought. It was like 3 ice units with V.Salire. She did really well. She and her drain invocation also, I've seen it hit for like 5k. So she doesn't use it often, but when she does, like it's almost a full heal for her. And then obviously the next attack she does has like an additional increased 40% slash resist penetration and plus 100 magic, like 100% magic. So she's gonna hit like crazy once she gets that drain invocation off. So anyway, all in all, I really like her. I think she's performing really well. If you guys have other comments or found other ways to use her, or think I can change the team up even more, make other additions, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. One last thing I want to say is that I have Siren Esper on Yuna because it reduces her cast time for skills like Koraga and full life, because I want those skills to go off. Otherwise, if I didn't have that, I would probably use this Esper. And then I have this Esper on her because that's the most offensive magic damage oriented Esper that I can think of. I have Odin on King Mont because it lets him get to the battle faster. This whole team is built on like stacking agility and doing a lot of damage, keeping pace, things like that. So that's the one that really works for him. If I put a slower agility, I think it would like ruin the whole the way like the units mesh well together right now, and their agility is all like tuned and stuff. You'll see in the fights. So if I put like Death Machine, sure, it might have more defense, but the agility tuning and everything falls off. So you really need to make sure that your team works really well together. And so anyway, this is my team. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna play the 5 matches that I've done right now, but I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy those. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.
We won't forgive those who make others suffer. Let's go, partner.
Fight this my own end.
Much appreciated. By the Azure Crystal.
It ends here.
行くよ。
仕上げだ。
Not on my watch. It was a pleasure fighting at your side. won't forgive those who make others shine upon you. Let's go, partner.
Are you prepared? Magical powers rising.
遠慮しな先に手を打つ
Fight to the very end.
I'll kill anyone who gets in my way.
Thank you. By the Azure Crystal. Is that all you got?
It takes more than that.
畳みかける
It ends here.
Got you! It was a pleasure fighting at your side. We won't forgive those who make others suffer. Let's go, partner.
I'll kill anyone who gets in my way.
Fight to the very end.
Darkness is my strength. It's not over.
Are you prepared? Magical powers rising.
Much appreciated. Let's go, partner.
This is for you.
It ends here.
The deepest darkness sharpens my blade.
We won't give in.
Impossible.
Thank you. Not on my watch.
My gratitude.
It was a pleasure fighting at your side. We won't forgive those who make others shine upon you. Let's go, partner.
Darkness is my strength. Sharpens my blade.
Are you prepared? Magical powers rising.
Fight to the very end.
Don't think
Feel my power.
Thank you. Let's go, partner.
It ends here.
You will receive no mercy.
I won't hold
Takes
back.
more than that.
Die.
Takes more than that. My gratitude. Did you listen?
It was a pleasure fighting at your side. We won't forgive those who make others suffer. Let's go, partner.
Don't underestimate the power of my love.
Fight. We'll give it my all again.
It seems we cannot avoid this back and forth.
Much appreciated. By the Azure Crystal.
It ends here.
So pushy.
You handle this?
My gratitude.
Gotcha! It was a pleasure fighting at your side.